Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mansfield High School for tonight's high school basketball action. Hi, I'm Mark Farinella, and alongside me is a member of the Mansfield High School Basketball Hall of Fame, a two-time Hockomock League All-Star, the former head basketball coach of the girls team here at Mansfield High, and the longtime coach at Zavarian Brothers High School. I'm with Alex Solaki. Alex, welcome to the broadcast tonight.
Thank you, Mark. It's really going to be interesting.
Well, we're here at the Round Ball Tournament, the Mansfield Round Ball Classic, which is a annual joy here at Mansfield High. And the Hornets are going to be playing against Lowell High School, a team that they beat in the championship game last year, 50-48. This, of course, is a first-round game. The championship game will be played on Wednesday night. Mansfield or Lowell will be playing Bishop Feehan, which defeated Westford Academy 43-33 in the earlier game today. The Hornets come in at 14-5 overall, 13-5 in terms of tournament qualification, while Lowell, unfortunately, has been rendered out of the possibility for the MIA tournament. They lost their last three games. They are 8-11 overall, 7-11 in terms of MIA qualification. Their last game was a 60-25 loss to Central Catholic, but they do have some interesting talent on this team, and one of them is a junior guard that really stepped into prominence this year. Her name is Nikki Irizarry, and you're going to be hearing that name a lot tonight. She scored 21 against Melrose, 19 against Methuen, 17 versus North Andover, and 16 versus Haverhill. Here at the James Albertini Memorial Gymnasium, the Hornets have had a lot of success in their own tournament over the years, both the boys and the girls teams. The girls are 6-1 in title games since 2009. They're 3-1 in their last four. The last time they lost a title game was in 2017. They lost to Abington. They've had some struggles in some of the games in the mid-20 teens. But the Hornets have done all right recently, and they certainly are hopeful to get another W tonight because it's going to be important for their tournament seeding. Alex, we talked about this in the pregame a little bit, that we have to you want to really try to improve your seeding right now. The Hornets, their next game against Bishop Feehan, if they win this one, would not count because they're using it as an exclusion game. So you can see that
right.
You have to have a certain amount of intensity here.
Right. Maybe when there's time during the break, Mark, you could explain that a bit further to the fans at home.
Certainly. Well, we're about ready to start here. Maggie Danahy will jump center, and the Hornets come away with it. Mike's got a lot of seniors. Mike Redding is putting some seniors out there tonight, and Alicia Hodelman gets the first basket. Obviously, it's senior night.
Mansfield in a 2-2-1 zone press after their first score.
And there's Irizarry right there. Well, number 11. She has really burst upon the scene for the Red Raiders. Ball's back out to her, and she's really the engine that makes it go out there. It's DeRosia in the shot, no good. That is Aaron Daniel on the rebound, and here comes Cara Bendinello up court. Steph Kemp gets a start tonight. And Hodelman goes to the basket and gets fouled.
Mark, just to point out, Mansfield was in a 2-2-1 after they scored, a soft press that teams usually use when they're trying to slow the other team down.
Oh, I think they called that foul on Maggie Danahy underneath. That's a little bit of a surprise there. So the Hornets have a foul, and here comes Lowell bringing the ball up. Here's Irizarry. He's going to drive the baseline, dishes it off, and it goes out of bounds off a Hornet. Lowell ball. 7:03 left to go in the opening quarter here. Alex, what are you seeing so far in terms of what Lowell can do? It looks like they can try and penetrate here.
Yeah, it looks like they want to. Probably the reason why Mansfield is in a 2-3 zone.
And that's Michaela Martinez with that basket. And Hodelman gets fouled on the way up the court. And that is on Irizarry, I believe. Yes, it is. That's her first. Well, that could be a bit of a problem for Lowell already if their top scorer gets into any kind of trouble. Cara Bendinello is going to bring the ball across. Hornets like to work it around the perimeter, but Maggie Danahy can take that shot, and she does and gets it. Danahy likes that range, Alex. She's one of those big girls that likes to extend.
And she made a nice hard flash to the elbow there to get the open look.
Lowell keeps possession. Martinez to Irizarry. Gets it. It's a 3.
That's a nice release by Irizarry. Nice quick release.
You know, I've seen a lot of shooters, and so many kids have to crank up that 3. How much of a real impact is it when a kid can get the ball and be ready to shoot when she gets it?
Right, exactly. Someone was right on her. She caught the ball at the shooting spot, and she released it.
Holloman with the drive.
Nice penetration.
4 points for her so far in this early game, and it's 6-5 Mansfield. 5:52 left, and a travel. So the Hornets will get the ball back. The Hornets are facing a team here that has a little bit of trouble scoring, kind of like they do, only not as badly. Lowell has been averaging 42.8 a game, and they're allowing 50.5. Those numbers really aren't that different than Mansfield, except Mansfield does reverse it. They are scoring more than they're giving up. And, of course, Mansfield is an outstanding defensive team and has been all year long. Kemp with the 3, no good. Danahy with the rebound. And that's a put back in there by Aaron Daniel. Nice rebound and gets it in.
Right, nice look to the open player underneath.
Sarah Meehan with the 3.
Another nice catch and shoot without having to crank it up.
And it's 8-8. Here comes Hodelman. She's all alone. Look like a little bit of a Euro step there, but she gets it. And there's a timeout. Alicia Hodelman with 3 baskets to go in the early going, so a very happy senior night for her.
There's a lot of scoring going on here so far, and that's probably why there's a quick timeout.
So let me explain, as you mentioned, about the tournament seedings and tournament qualification and all that. Mansfield will have 2 games if they win this one. We'll have 2 games that actually don't count towards their tournament qualification. One was the opener against East Bridgewater, which you folks saw here on Mansfield Cable Access. That was what was called an endowment game. It raised money for a MIA charity. They allow you to keep the statistics, schedule the extra game, but it does not count towards tournament qualification. Now, since Bishop Feehan won, you have the choice of playing teams that don't have a little trouble scheduling games. Bishop Feehan is listed as one of those exclusion teams, and so they chose before the season that if they were going to play Feehan in the tournament, and originally they were going to play them in the regular season, but that kind of fell apart at the last minute. But now that they're in the tournament, they've chosen that game will not count. So this is the last game Mansfield's playing that will count towards the seeding, and they really want to get to, I would say they really want to get to 15-5 if they can get these 2 games in this tournament.
So 22 total games on Mansfield's schedule, 20 counting for seeding.
I think in this case, I think the Hornets only will have 21 because they did not get a couple of extra ones.
Okay,
whereas the boys have 23 on their regular season schedule. Again, they have one of those endowment games that was against Hingham. Here's a shot and a basket by Sydney Mulkern, a 3-pointer, and Mulkern has been hot as a pistol for the Hornets in the second half of the season so far.
I'm happy to see that come from the left side of the court because the Hornets have been kind of sticking to the right side of the court on offense. That time they used the entire court.
Irizarry drive, dished it off, but Lowell keeps possession. Comes Athena Mowat, gets it out. Irizarry from the top, in and out, and there's a battle for the rebound, and it will stay by the alternating possession in Lowell's hands. 4:01 left, 13-8, Mansfield leads.
Now I know we don't have replay, Mark,
no.
But Irizarry on that one released it from down by her knees.
Well, that's one of the rare times that she's done that.
Yeah, she had to get rid of it quickly with the defense pressing in on her.
Yeah, ball goes off of Michaela Martinez's foot, and Mansfield will have possession. Lowell started this season 1-5 and 2-6, and then they won 6 of 8, including a 4 straight winning streak after they lost at Cambridge Ringe and Latin. So they were kind of on a hot streak for a while, But unfortunately, that slowed up for them, and they will not be seeing the postseason because of it.
That's foul number 2 on Irizarry.
And that could be serious trouble.
And she
for
is
them.
now on the bench.
Yep, she's and that's going to take a lot of, I can say, just their heart out of their offense. Maddie Bendanillo now dishes to McVicker. McVicker with the nice baseline shot.
Nice driving dish right there. She saw the whole court.
And it's nice to see Meg McVicker getting some good minutes here too. And she gets a rebound. Meg has been she's been the regular insertion for Maggie Danahy when you want Maggie to get a little bit of a break. And, you know, the kid knows her role. She stays within herself, and she plays hard in that role. And you always love to see a kid like that.
On that last play, Maddie Bendanillo had a nice look, just led her teammate a little bit too much.
That's one thing Mansfield does want to get into transition. They often don't get into it as much as they'd like, I think. A little bit of a foul there, and I think that is going to be on Emily Vigent. Yes, it is. And that will be her first. Hornets lead 15-8, 3:16 left. It's Lowell's ball. Into Martinez, doesn't get it. Comes away with her own rebound, though. Outside shot. Whoa, and she really, that's Sarah Meehan, and she got that one in.
Yep, again, another quick release. That inbounds play has worked twice now for Lowell. It's time for Mansfield to make an adjustment to see if they can take that away.
They've got 4 baskets, and 3 of them are three-pointers. So we know what's going to be their bread and butter. If Mansfield can take it away, then that will probably widen the lead a little bit. Bendanillo out to Mulkern. Gets it. Sydney has really been hot. I watched this kid really come into her own at the end of the second half of the season this year.
She took that shot with a lot of confidence, Mark. She could see it coming, and she knew she was going to take it.
And there's a rebound by Maddie Bendanillo. And I was telling you before the game, Alex, nobody gets more rebounds among the guards than Maddie Bendanillo. And Mulkern again.
Wow.
Another 3. And that's a timeout being called quickly by Coach Dan Sargent.
She is going to the shooting spot and setting up, and her teammates have confidence in her, and she has great confidence in herself. You can just tell by her body language.
21-11, Mansfield now leads Lowell. 2:13 left to go in the first quarter. Mulkern has 3 threes. Hodelman, of course, had 3 twos. So they're really showing a lot of offense. And this again, as I said to you before, this team really averages only 48.4 points a game. They've only had 1 or 2 games where they've scored over 50. So to see them feeling a little confident and getting some baskets here, and you know, it's not necessarily like they're doing it as part of what they like to do. Just today they're going in, and that's nice to see.
What's happening here at the defensive end for Lowell, Mark, is that they're having some difficulty identifying the shooter. And Mansfield is taking great advantage of that with their good ball movement.
And that's certainly been a hallmark of Mansfield basketball, regardless of gender here lately. The boys team, the girls team, they all move the ball very well in the half court. But you do know, you see them, and you see it with both teams, they would like to be able to score in transition if they can, score a little bit more there. But if they can beat the other team down the court one way or the other, good things can happen.
Just want to point out that Mansfield is in a man-to-man set now at the defensive end.
Going into Martinez there, and she scores. So she's got 2 baskets. It's 21-13, 1:54 left. Mansfield in the lead. Maddie Bendanillo bringing it up. You can always tell the sisters apart. She's got the braided ponytail. Doesn't get it, but McVicker gets the rebound and gets it out to Mulkern. It didn't go. Martinez comes away with the rebound. Up to Davis. Now Kiana Prawn. She's the one who's going to have to take charge out there. Among with me, Sarah Meehan is a senior out there. She's one of their few ones. They're really struggling with those double teaming efforts by the Hornets there. Vigent comes away with the rebound off the long 3. Up to Mulkern. Bendanillo at the top. out quite a ways here, looking around, see what she can do. McVicker still in the ball game. Mulkern on the drive, under the basket a little bit, and Davis comes away with the rebound.
They ran that dribble handoff pretty nicely there and got a nice look. Who was the shooter again? Mulkern?
Yes.
Just got a little too far under the hoop.
Nice cut in by Meehan, but she knows to get it out because it wasn't there for her. Davis throws it in. I guess that's sort of a baby hook, but it worked.
Yep, she just tossed it up there, off the glass and in. Mansfield's doing a pretty good job of defending Lowell's motion offense.
We're inside the last 15 seconds. Here comes Mulkern, and she gets it. Nice drive.
Nice penetration, good use of the glass.
23-15, and we're in the last 10 seconds of the first quarter.
Mansfield getting ready to switch lineups here with 5 in and 5 coming out.
Yeah, they sometimes do those line changes. Mike Redding has plenty of depth on that bench, and that's he uses it too. And a lot of teams, you know, I've seen varsity teams at 12, 11, maybe 10 kids. Mike will keep 15 or 16, and he'll get many of them in a ball game. And that one falls off. And at the end of the first quarter, Mansfield in a nice 23-15 lead over the Lowell Red Raiders. We'll be back for the second quarter in a second. And we're back here at the James Albertini Memorial Gymnasium for the second quarter of tonight's game. Actually, it's the third of 4 games in the Mansfield Round Ball Classic. The Mansfield girls are leading Lowell 23-15. Mark Farinella here with Alex Salaki, and we're about to see some new people getting into the game that haven't gotten into the game for the Hornets for a while. Among them is, let's see. No, I'm sorry. I guess we do have most of the starting lineup in there. Oh. Well, I see Irizarry's back in, and she just tattooed Erin Daniel, and that will be her 3rd foul, and I think that might be the only thing you're going to see of her in this quarter, probably, because that's 3 fouls. That's a bit of trouble.
Yeah. And she showed us early that she's a real offensive threat. That's going to really hurt Lowell to have her on the bench until the second half. Danahy
outside the perimeter there. That's where the Hornets like to work around. Now here comes Daniel on the drive. It almost went, but there's a foul. And that foul is on Kamaria Davis. That's her first.
In that instance, Lowell is extending a bit now because they've been hurt by the threes, and that leaves the penetration opportunities. The middle's wide open.
Daniel misses the first of 2. There are 4 team fouls against Lowell and just 2 against the Hornets at this point. Missed them both, but Mansfield's Steph Kemp grabs the rebound. Kemp keeps it alive. It's still at the top. Carabendinil dishes off to Daniel. Hard dribble. Tries to get it in underneath to Carabendinil and back out. A little bit of a block there, and it looks like the Hornets will still have possession.
16 seconds left on the shot clock here. Plenty of time to get into something.
Absolutely. Carabendinil will inbounds to Danahy. Danahy's going to drive the baseline, and that scores.
That's a nice ball fake, and then a good slash to the basket.
And that's something I've wanted to see from Maggie a little bit more. And she has actually gotten, there was a little stretch in the middle of the season where I thought she got a little bit more timid. She is really, that's a nice aggressive move for her right there. And that, when you're the tallest kid on the court, make use of it.
Mansfield in a 1-3-1 zone now, Mark. This is the 3rd defense they've used in this ballgame.
And they do love to trap, too. When they get a person caught over here in the corner somewhere, they will immediately trap, and it makes it so difficult. You can't find anybody. If you're lucky, you can bounce the ball off a Hornet and maintain possession as they did there. Meehan with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't think they know how much time is left. A desperation shot by Prawn comes out now for the Hornets. Hodelman. And this is the other Hodelman that doesn't, it's funny because usually Becca Hodelman is the first Hodelman in the ballgame. Alicia's doing a great job today. Ball is off Hornet, and it will be Still Lowell possession. Meehan will inbound. 6:26 left in the first half. 25-15. Mansfield up by 10. Prawn out top. And that's Davis. No, rebound by Kemp. And here will come Cara Bendanillo. As I said before, you can tell the Bendanillo sisters apart by their ponytails. Cara has the free-flowing one.
That was a nice fake dribble handoff, and then a spin and drive to the basket. And we're going to the free throw line.
And it's nice to see Maggie Danahy really playing aggressively offensively. It really is. Martinez with the foul on that. That is her first, 5th on the Red Raiders. And Maggie Danahy drains the first one.
She did a great job of selling that fake dribble handoff. It's almost like a play action playing football.
Yep. She's averaging 12.2 a game this year. She had a career high 27 against Attleboro in a game that we did here. Gets them both. And another wholesale substitution by Mike Redding to get a lot of kids into the ball game tonight. Here comes Moat. I don't know if she's any relation to a Moat that I knew from the Patriots many years ago.
Mansfield back playing man-to-man right now, Mark.
This shot, and it's rebounded by McVicker. McVicker's getting good minutes tonight. That's good. Bendanillo, Maddie, off to Vigent. Maddie back up top, looking to set a play. McVicker. Vigent will take the 3. Bounces off the rim and out of bounds. It will remain Mansfield ball. .526 left here in the half. 27-15, Mansfield in front. Out to Vigent. Now Mulkern lets one fly, and it goes.
Does she have 3, Mark? 3 threes?
That is a 3, and that is her 4th 3.
4th. Well, again, she catches and shoots with confidence. A nice rotation there, swinging the ball to that side of the court.
And you know, Alex, they're going to need that in the tournament. They need that. I mean, Danahy is going to be the focus of a lot of defenses, so they need that kid that can shoot from outside and draw the defense out to her.
The key there, as you saw, too, is using the entire court, not getting the ball jammed up in one part of the court. And that ball went from the left wing all the way to halfway between the right wing and the right corner.
The foul was on Abby Sullivan, who's in the game, reserve forward for the Hornets. And this is Ella Haley at the line. She gets the second one. 30-16. Mansfield leads. 5:10 left in the half. Maddie Bendanillo will bring it across. She does control things from the top. McVicker now with a nice short-range shot, but it's a little long. Davis on the rebound.
Same good ball movement then, though. You don't make every shot. And that was still solid ball movement.
Meehan tries to go inside to Moat. Moat gets the shot to go. Strong drive.
Yep. Well, Lowell has a couple of physical players inside, and Moat showed then that she can take a few bumps as she's going hard to the hole.
First foul on Sydney Mulkern. It is the 4th team foul for the Hornets. Moat will try to complete the traditional 3-point play. Doesn't get it. Mulkern comes away with the rebound. Pushing the ball up. Here comes Bendanillo, back to Mulkern, and then back to Bendanillo. And back to Mulkern. They're going to do this all day.
Here's a nice skip. Oh, and it goes out of bounds.
She was trying to pass that ball before she had it in her hands.
Yep.
No, Mulkern has bumped her average up to 9.8 a game. She had a career-high 20 at Franklin, the first meeting of the two teams this year. Well, she's popped in 17 versus Olive Ames and 18 versus King Philip, and it's nice to see that offense. So we have a timeout on the court right now. Alex, you and I are should be carbon dated. We've been around so long. We opened this gymnasium back in the day. The James Albertine Memorial Gymnasium opened in the 1969, 1970 season.
Was that February of 70?
Somewhere along the way there. Tell me, what was the difference of going from a smaller court like the Don Curvin gym next door to this court, which, as we know, is a 94-foot pro-sized court? It was a shock, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I could probably write an article about that, Mark, and I don't think I'm going to have enough time during this timeout to elaborate on it. But coming to this size court and playing the style that we played back then, actually this court became a disadvantage for Mansfield High.
I would think so. It must have looked like the Grand Canyon out here, because I remember the first time I walked into the place, and as you know, I didn't play, but I scored everybody's points as a scorekeeper. But just looking at the size of the court compared to the much chummier Curvin gym, it was a huge change, and it took almost a generation for both the boys team and the girls team to find the athletes who could run it. And now it's a huge advantage for Mansfield.
The style of play has obviously changed over the years. It's a much faster game. There's a lot more pressing. There's a lot more ball movement using the entire court. It's not as much a half-court game as it used to be. And Mansfield has made this court work for them.
But it's also good to still be proficient in the half-court, and I think these girls are. Maddie gets a little pass off of Moat there, and they will retain possession. 3:56 left. It's 30-18 Mansfield. 19 seconds left on the shot clock.
I was going to say, Mark, that usually when a team's down like this, you might expect that they would come out of a timeout with more pressure. But Lowell hasn't done that, so they probably don't feel they can pressure Mansfield on the full court.
Mulkern just almost gets another one, but doesn't. Ball's up loose, and Abby Sullivan comes away with it to Maddie Bendanillo now. Hornets get the ball right back. Bendanillo will set up the play. I'm really going to miss watching this kid play. Ever since she was a freshman, I have just enjoyed just the effort and the intensity and the smile she puts into it, too. Vigent misses the three, and that is rebounded by Moat. She's bringing the ball up. She's going to dish to Meehan, and Danahy comes away with that rebound.
Maddie Bendanillo. She does a great job of using the entire court and making the defense move where she wants them to move.
I'll admit to you, it took me about a year not to say Bendanillo. I wanted to say it myself. Nice Italian girl. Shot by Vigent.
She was inside the 2-point line then. Yep, that was a two.
And that's something I like seeing back in the game too, is the kind of like that 10 to 12 foot shot, maybe a little bit farther out. It seems to be a lost art. Everybody wants to shoot threes where they want to drive to the basket, but if you can shoot that little with the mid-range jumper, that's a weapon.
Well, Mark, there's a difference of opinion on that in basketball circles, because there are statistics that prove that you're better off taking more threes and less 15-footers. And some coaches really subscribe to those statistics. Others believe, like you just said, that mid-range shot should be a big part should be back in the game anyway.
Well, it also makes me wonder, though, if you have a player that can shoot, outside, bringing her range out a little bit, but not necessarily deep, it does confound a defense. To me, it's like, how do you defend this kid now? What do you do? Now, there are ways to shut it off, but if you get enough opportunities, you're going to score to win. And that was Ella Haley on the drive, and she's been fouled.
And that's a very good example of, in a more traditional style of play, she would have pulled up for an 8-foot jumper there. But like you say, that shot is not part of the arsenal of a lot of players nowadays.
That's the first foul on Becca Hodelman, who's made her first appearance in the contest today. And that kid, I really have liked what she's done this year. Usually the first guard off the bench in most of the games I saw this year, and she just immediately brings a high level of energy to the game. Haley gets the second one. It's 32-19. Mansfield in the lead over Lowell. 2:13 left to go in the first half. Hodelman with the ball. There's Mulkern from the perimeter. No. And that's going to bounce out of bounds off of Ashley Santos. Yes. and Mansfield gives up the ball to Lowell on this possession.
Lowell did extend their 2-3 zone then a bit, not to pressure situation, but just in the half court. They brought the front two up above the three-point line, and I think Mansfield was a little confused by that different look. We'll see how they adjust the next time down.
Nice steal by Mulkern. She's going to pull it up and look for Vigent, and it goes out of bounds off of Meehan. So Mansfield with the ball, 1:48 left, 32-19 over the Lowell Red Raiders. Hodelman will inbound. Gets it to Vigent, then to Mulkern. Danahy back to Mulkern. Mulkern on the drive, a little bit wild. Davis rebound, Moat bringing it up for Lowell. Martinez at the foul line, gets it off to Meehan. Rebounded by Ashley Santos, only a sophomore. Talented young player, still learning her gifts, and she was still developing, and she will be a nice player the next couple of years. Hodelman to Mulkern to Vigent. Tried to get it inside to Danahy. She's going to force her way up. Gets the foul. That's effective. You get the ball into the tallest kid out there, and when she tries to be tall, she's either going to score or get fouled, right?
In that instance, there was no reason for her to go with a ball fake because there was nobody who was going to be able to be up as high as she was holding the ball.
And that's such an important thing, too, for the big girls to hold the ball away from everybody else, too.
That's exactly what she did. She didn't have to bring it back down before she went back up.
If you're 6 feet tall, don't play 5 feet.
Right.
The foul was on Haley. That is their 6th team foul. Danahy missed the first shot. We'll try to get that second one. And does. 33-19, Mansfield in the lead. 1:08 left here in the first half. Looks like a little bit of pressure, not overly strong. Cross-court pass to Moet, gets it back again. Looking in to Meehan, back out to Moet. A little cavalier on the passing there. She's going to take the three. Moet bounces off long. Martinez fights for the rebound. And Steph Kemp got her arm kind of like wrapped up in that twisting body there. But I think we had a walk, didn't we?
Yeah, Mansfield back in the 2-3 zone and doing a great job of extending to the ball.
Cara Bendanillo bringing the ball up now. Doesn't matter who's on the court. You're going to see a Bendanillo bringing the ball up somewhere along the way. That is by Vigent. No, that was Aaron Daniel. I'm sorry. And Moet rebounds coming up court. Oh, pass to herself. I don't know how that got away with it. Prawn into Haley, and there's a foul.
I didn't see if a Mansfield player touched the ball in between there.
My guess is they probably did, but I can't say for a fact. And that foul will be on McVicker. That's her first. 16 fouls, and Haley's at the line, missed the first. 12.5 seconds left in this first half of basketball here at the Albertini Gym. Haley misses the second. Danahy with the rebound. That's her 4th rebound of the game. Carabinino on the baseline. Ball goes out of bounds off Meehan. So Mansfield retains possession with 5.3 seconds left.
Okay, let's see what this out of bounds play looks like. Across.
Mike Redding calls a timeout. He didn't like what he saw out there.
Yeah, he wants to try something here on the out of bounds play in 5.3 seconds to see if he can get a quick shot and a good look. Lowell should come out in a different defense.
And what would you suggest, my friend?
I don't know how well they can play man-to-man, but he's calling them an inbounds play based on what they've been playing defensively, mainly a 2-3 zone.
We didn't see enough of Irizarry to see whether she really is any help on defense. I think 2 of her fouls, at least I know of, were happened on defense. Was there one offensive foul? I thought there was.
Right.
Yeah. So You know, I'm sure it's a fairly young team over there, and I'm sure they've got some work ahead of them. And let's put it to you here. In this case, there's a team that knows they're not going to the postseason. What are you trying to accomplish in a game like this, really quickly here?
You're trying to see if your team still has a competitive fire to be as good as they can possibly be, and something you can build on with the players that are coming back for next season.
Okay, Carabendinello.
So they did go to man-to-man.
Yep, Carabendinello gets it to the baseline to Daniel, out to Mulkern, off the rim at the buzzer. Nice shot, though. Yeah. Nice look.
Yeah. They made a nice adjustment, and it's possible that Mike Redding suspected that they would come out.
So at the end of the first half here at the James Albertini Memorial Gymnasium, in the third game of the girls round ball tournament here, the Mansfield Hornets lead the Lowell Red Raiders 33-19. Alex, have you got any final thoughts here in the half? Looking forward to the second half?
Well, Mark, the thing that I'm interested in, 14-point deficit for Lowell. The player in foul trouble, is she worth 14 points? Is she a good enough player, a key player on their team that can help them make up that deficit in the third quarter?
Okay. Well, we'll see. And we'll be back with the second half of this contest in just the blink of an eye. And welcome back to the James Albertini Memorial Gymnasium. It's halftime of the first girls game in the Mansfield Round Ball Classic. Mansfield High in the commanding 33-19 lead over the Lowell Red Raiders in the first half. The big thing was Sydney Mulkern hitting from outside. 14 points, including 4 3-point baskets. She's the leading scorer in the game. Maggie Danahy had 7 points and 4 rebounds. Alicia Hodelman got in early and got 6 points. A nice senior night type of thing. Erin Daniel, Emily Vigent, and Meg McVicker all have a basket apiece for the Hornets. For Lowell, the leading scorer that we expected, Nikki Irizarry, got in early foul trouble. She has 3, and she only has 3 points. Sarah Meehan, the senior guard, has 6 points on a pair of threes. Michaela Martinez had a pair of baskets in the first quarter for 4 points, and 3 other players have 2 points apiece. So, Alex, it's like you said just before we cut off for the halftime. The question with Lowell right now is really the absence of Irizarry that big of a deal in terms of the number of points that they're scoring, or that they're capable of scoring, really. I mean, she'll obviously be back early in this half.
Right. I guess we'll find that out probably in the first 3 or 4 minutes. One thing I wanted to point out, Mansfield has switched defenses, played 3 different types of half-court defenses, and I believe that has stymied Lowell a bit. They haven't been able to figure out what to do against those switching defenses. I've always been a big fan of switching defenses. You have to have some smart players.
Well, I was just going to say, you need kids that can do that can execute in different mindsets out there.
They can hear a number called, and they know what they have to do. Thank you.
So, the winner, of course, will play Bishop Feehan on Wednesday night at 5:30. The Shamrocks defeated Westford Academy by 10 points, 44-34. And that was really kind of a ragged game. I was here for that, and the Shamrocks went to the foul line quite a lot in the fourth quarter, and they did not make the best advantage of it. But here's the thing that happened in that game. Westford Academy scored a 3-pointer to open the quarter, didn't score again for another 7 minutes and 2 seconds.
Wow.
So, Meehan will inbound the ball. Lowell has it, and here's Irizarry, the top, and we're back in action. Irizarry's going to drive right off the bat. Maddie Bendinillo was right with her and blocked her shot.
That was an isolation play for her right off the bat. She was going to the hole with that.
Here's Cara Bendinillo, so we have double Bendinillos out there right now. The two sisters work it together. Now there's Mulkern to Danahy with about a 15-footer, and it's good.
Once again, keeps that ball up high. You bring it down, you allow the smaller defender to maybe take a swipe at it.
She really likes that slightly extended range baseline jumper, too. That's one of her favorite shots. Here's Moet out top to Martinez. Meehan on the drive will go, and she gets a three-point play opportunity.
That's the first time that I've seen in this game, Mark, that Mansfield has not defended that screen properly.
That is the second foul on Emily Vigent. And, of course, the first in the half. Meehan will go to the foul line to try to bring her point total up to 9, and she does. So it's 35-22. The Hornets in the lead, 7:10 left in the third quarter. The two Bendanillos bring it up and pass the ball among each other. Now Mulkern, Bendanillo, Maddie with the three-point attempt, a little strong. Martinez with the rebound, gets it up. Here comes Irizarry, throws it wildly off the backboard, and Maggie Danahy comes away with the rebound.
What I see with Irizarry is she's trying to force her game right now.
Yep.
Trying to do too much.
Sure she probably feels the pressure having the three and just wants to kind of reassert herself out there. Okay, the two Bendanillo sisters out at the perimeter. Here comes Kara back out to Maddie. Maddie to Mulkern, closely guarded by Haley. She's going to still move in for and got one off the back of the rim. Goes out of bounds off of Moet, so Mansfield will keep possession. 6:21 left, and there's 29 seconds on the clock because that did hit rim. So the shot clock, plenty of time. Oh, and that's going to be, I had a feeling that a little bit of a hip check there by Maggie Danahy.
That was the hip check into the boards.
And that's her second foul. Not crucial at this point, but Irizarry brings the ball up for the Red Raiders to Martinez. Looking to drive, and she does. And she gets, she tried to get her own rebound, then sort of inadvertently tackled Kara Bendanillo.
They used that same fake dribble handoff that Mansfield used successfully in the first half, but unable to score on it.
That was Martinez's second foul. Maddie Bendanillo at the top.
Lowell in the 2-3, but a kind of soft 2-3.
Long shot by Mulkern, but Kara Bendanillo came away with the rebound. Now she's going to baseline pass. They're working it around. Vigent goes for three, doesn't get it. Danahy pulls down the rebound, goes back up strong, gets boxed out, and the ball will go off of a Hornet, so it will be Lowell ball.
As I pointed out before, the Lowell players are very physical inside.
Well, I get the feeling they feel that there's the only hope of getting back in this game is to kind of assert themselves a little bit.
I think you're right on that, Mark. And they've gotten back 1 point since halftime and close to 3 minutes.
Irizarry with a little hop step, and she's going to go, and she gets it.
That is a nice play.
Boy, did she telegraph that, though, huh?
Right. Yep.
That brings her up to 5 points in the game, and she's capable of big numbers. So there's something to build on with that girl. Danahy, high post. Now here's Maddie Bendanillo, rather. I'll get him right. Underneath to Danahy, tied up by Haley, and they're going to call a jump ball. So Mansfield keeps it on the alternating possession.
Now on that play, she had to have the ball down low because that's where the pass came to her, and thus allowing the tie-up.
She's bumped right off the bat. Inbounds pass went right to her, and Martinez gets her third foul. So that will not send her to the line because she was not in the act of shooting. But that is the second team foul on the board for Lowell. Kara Bendanillo to Maddie Bendanillo. I'm getting good at saying Bendanillo. Kara dishes to Vigent. Shots off the rim, but that's Maddie getting a rebound, and boy, does she like to do that.
Good hustle. Another 30 seconds to work with.
And they're going to really miss that here because, I mean, I'm sure there are kids who will learn to do that, but that has been one of Maddie Bendanillo's gifts. Mulkern with the jumper. Stepped inside the line for the two. It's a very nice shot. That brings her up to 16 points in this contest. Mansfield leads 37-24, 4:23 left in the third quarter.
Once again, the ball movement is just superb. on the part of Mansfield.
And this is, from the many games that I've seen so far this year, this may be one of their best in terms of ball movement. It's really working very well right now.
I think that tipped off of a Mansfield player's hand. Yeah.
I got to talk to you. Well, we probably heard that on camera. Kathy Hill's coming up the steps here, a good friend, and who will be joining me for the broadcasts on Wednesday. And that is Irizarry, no good underneath. Rebound fought for, and Kemp was in the middle of that. And the alternating possession goes to Mansfield. So
Irizarry
no, it's
likes
to Lowell.
the runner.
I'm sorry, it's to Lowell.
She likes the runner, but she's not always getting it all the way up to the basket.
Moet deep and gets it high off the glass.
Right off the glass. Did she call glass? That's the question mark. Could you hear her?
I did not hear her, but you know, we have a term for that. Say it called breaking some glass. All right, Maddie Bendinillo now gets it across court to Mulkern. She's going to try to answer. Bounce off the rim, but Kemp with the rebound. Becca Hodelman was the person who saved it and is now working it around. Mulkern to the left. Now Hodelman at the top. Bendinillo's going to make a move, but she was actually walled off by Danahy. Long three attempt by Mulkern, but Bendinillo gets the rebound, and Danahy tries to put him up. Hornets are they're keeping this ball alive. Another rebound. Right. Here is Rebecca Hodelman with the ball, and now Mulkern gets it back to Hodelman. A little bit of defense by Irizarry there. The Hornets are really now trying to work for the shot, but not a lot of movement outside of the perimeter. And yet they're still going to get
fourth possession on this sequence down the court.
And Steph Kemp has had 2 of those rebounds. Danahy should just turn around and go to the basket, but and she throws it away, and the ball is going to come out now. And here comes Irizarry. Tried to make a little bit of a fake move. Is going to roll off the back of the rim. Irizarry comes away with the rebound, and here's Meehan now out at the perimeter. That was nice of Sydney Mulkern to help Irizarry up. Irizarry's trying to do the moves, and she throws one up. High off the glass, no good. Maddie Bendinillo comes away with it. Here she comes on the run. Bendinillo off to Mulkern for 3. Gets it!
Nice drive and dish.
And a timeout by Coach Sargent on the Lowell sideline. The Hornets up 40-27 with 2:20 left in the third quarter. Well, it was a little bit of fun activity there to see the Hornets keep rebounding the ball and to keep that possession alive for as long as they did.
Right. That's one way to tire another team out. Teams don't want to play defense for 4 straight possessions on the same sequence.
You know, Kemp had 2 of those, but also Maddie Bendinillo, as I've said all night long, she always works hard to get those rebounds. That kind of hustle is really something that, as a coach, you have to be in love with that. I mean, really. How many times over the years would you have liked to have that kind of hustle?
Amazing. Yep, amazing hustle and presence of mind to get right back into their offense.
Yep.
Right back into that ball movement, to skip passes, looking inside, everything. I mean, sometimes you come up with the ball and you're tempted to just throw the ball back up at the basket.
Yep. Now that's senior leadership out there too, and that's exactly what you see. There's 10 seniors on this team, so could be a few tense moments next year. But right now, these kids have been playing in this program for 4 years, and some of them have been 4-year starters. Maddie Bendinillo was one of them. And just that kind of activity that you want to see out of them right now at a time when it's getting at that time of the season where every game is going to count a lot, and it's one and done after a while. So Lowell now, there's Haley.
Mansfield back in the 1-3-1, trapping in the corner.
Out to Meehan, now to Irizarry. She takes a little step move. Nice pass out to Davis. Shot short.
That is so close to a travel, but
Daniel came away with the rebound. Hodelman to McVicker on the end, and she gets the basket, the baseline shot on the pass from Vigent. Nice job.
The shot fake made that play.
Meg McVicker with 4 points. I love it when these kids contribute.
Shot fake, you get one defender out of position, penetration, dish, easy basket.
Well, the Hornets are coming back up the court now, 42-27, 1:27 left in the third quarter. This quarter's flown by.
It has.
There's Kemp.
And a 14-point lead at halftime is now 15 points.
Yep. Daniel to Hodelman. Vigent. Little dribble. Is going to go in. Gets knocked away by Martinez, and she fouls her. So Vigent will go to the line. And that would be the 4th on Michaela Martinez. She's been a pretty active player out there.
Yep. I would say the Lowell team, Mark, is getting a little weary.
Well, this is a team, these Hornets can run this long court. There's no question about it, and we talked about that. It's an advantage. It really is an advantage to be able to make teams tired. And here we are in the third quarter. There's still a lot of basketball left to be played. These kids may not want to be out there for it. Bounces out, so unfortunately no free throws there. And
I'd like to
comes
see
away
the free throw percentages for Mansfield in this game. Back to the 1-3-1.
There's Davis in the corner being trapped and tied up. Possession arrow goes to Mansfield. 54.3 seconds left to go in the third quarter. 42-27. Mansfield in the lead over Lowell. You know the song goes, that commercial song is, there's a lot to like about Lowell. There's a few things I think that Coach Sargent will like about his team, but they're going to have to grow up a little bit. That shot is kept alive now by Vigent. The long shot by Daniel. Daniel's back out now to McVicker, to Vigent. He's going to make the move inside, loses the ball. Here's Irizarry, chased from behind by Hodelman. She dishes. Nice idea. Daniel comes away with the rebound off the miss by Prawn. Here comes Hodelman. 13 seconds left in the possession, in the quarter rather. Looking for the open shot. Kemp gets it. Almost. Bounces off. Goes deep. And Hodelman's going to come in with the rebound. 3 seconds. Shot is blocked. And that will be the end of the quarter. So after 3 quarters of play here, Mansfield leads the Lowell girls 42-27. We'll be back in an instant. And we're back here for the final quarter of the girls' opener in the Mansfield Round Ball Classic, an annual treat here at the James Albertini Memorial Gymnasium. Mansfield girls lead Lowell 42-27. Last year, these two teams faced off in the final, and the Mansfield girls won it by 2 points, 50-48. There were a couple of better players, I remember, veteran players on the Lowell team in that game. Here's Moet underneath. Ball slapped back out to Prawn, and the shot goes long, and here's Maddie Bendinillo on the break. Up ahead to Vigent. She thinks about the shot and takes it out. Kara Bendinillo across court to Mulkern. Trying to get it in tight inside to Maggie Danahy. 6 rebounds, a little bit of a quiet day on the glass for her, but they really haven't needed it. Actually, I think I don't keep the shooting percentage in these games because I'm talking too much, but I think it would be pretty good for the Hornets.
What does she average rebounds per game, Mark?
Yeah, she's usually in double digits. Mulkern missed that one. Here comes Moet.
Would you say there's a more liberal substitution pattern in this game?
I would think so in this one, yes. And that's by Haley from the foul line. So that gets her on the board for her 4th points now. Here's Mulkern from outside, and she drains it again.
Is that 5, Mark, or 6?
That is 6 3-pointers for her.
That is one night of basketball.
Sydney
right there. That's a memorable night.
I think Sydney's heading towards a career high here. I'll have to look at it during a break. And a nice shot there by Prawn. And that was a 3, too, wasn't it? I believe it was. Yes.
Yep.
So it's 45-32 for Mansfield ahead of Lowell here with 6:38 left to go in the game. Danahy gets it out to Bendinillo, who comes across courts to Mulkern. Now Mulkern over to Vigent. Gets her own rebound off the miss. Out to Mulkern. Kara Bendinillo at the top. Over to Maddie to the right. Vigent thinks about it. Almost gets tomahawked. The Hornets are really passing the ball well. A little bit short for Vigent. A rebound by Haley up to Irizarry. Irizarry's going to bring the ball across. I don't think we've had to worry too much about long trips in the backcourt here. Of course, there is no backcourt violation in Massachusetts basketball. Alex, I saw the Hornet girls playing in Connecticut where they do have the 10-second rule, but they have no 30-second shot clock in that state, and they don't in New Hampshire, I know. I don't understand why they don't have a shot clock these days.
It's a good point, Mark. I wouldn't be able to answer that for you. All I can say is I love it when some fan jumps up and starts yelling, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
You know, I seem to have heard less of that lately. I think people are finally figuring it out.
It's taken a few years.
Yeah, if they change the rule, though, people will be crazy around here. So at 5:55 left, we have a timeout. Mansfield in a commanding 45-32 lead over the Lowell Red Raiders. If the Hornets do come away with the win, that will improve their record to 15-5, 14-5 in terms of tournament qualification. And actually, that would be it for them, I think, in tournament qualification, if they, obviously, with the Fian game coming up, not counting. So, anyway.
Mark, what did you say Mansfield was averaging points per game?
They were averaging only 48.4, so they have a very good chance to go ahead of that. Now, the question is, will they need it, too? I mean, I could see Mike, trying to take some of the air out of the ball a little bit and use up the 30 as much as they can. But, when the kids are playing well, why deflate them too, I mean, it's obviously not really running it up on them if it's not 75-32.
True. It's a reasonable offensive philosophy in senior night. If you get a few more seniors a little more playing time, you want them to get a chance to score.
And he did give them that time, too, which is really nice. Here comes Maddie Bendinillo up the court. To Danahy out high. She's going to drive. And she wants to go, and she got it.
The fake dribble handoff again, or fake handoff, rather.
That puts Maggie into double figures. She now has 11 on the night. Mansfield up 47-32, 5:28 left. Martinez out to Moat up top, to Irizarry.
She looks like she's looking for a screen.
She does look like she can be a take charge type of kid. The question is, what are they going to get around her over the next few years, too? I mean,
jeez.
Here is Maddie Bendinillo bringing it up court. Alicia Hodelman is back in the ball game. Ashley Santos is in the ball game. She hasn't played much in this one. Here comes Mulkern, dishes it back out to Bendinillo. She's going to take it back out again. Santos into Danahy. Then Hodelman had the shot and it didn't go, so Lowell is back up the court. And Prawn drops in another three.
Is that two threes for her?
That is in this quarter. So all of her scoring, the two baskets have come in this quarter, and they're both threes. Bendinillo, Maggie Danahy out high. Mulkern off to the left. Danahy moving in. Hodelman goes into Danahy. A little bit of a baby hook, a little strong, gets her own rebound and gets it in. 13 points for Maggie Danahy and 7 rebounds tonight. Hornets lead 49-35. As Martinez with the ball. To Moat, takes a three. Short, goes out of bounds. It will be Mansfield ball. 3:57 left. Aaron Daniel coming back into the contest for the Hornets. And Sydney Mulkern going out. Mulkern has 22 points in this contest.
How about Danahy?
Danahy has 13. Here comes Daniel. No. Rebound slapped around, out of bounds, off of Lowell player. It will be Mansfield ball. And I believe that is Sydney Mulkern's career high. 22 points. She had 20 against Franklin earlier this year, so good for Sydney. She puts a little asterisk next to a nice little record there. That's good.
And, again, 6 threes.
Yep. She's nailed it from outside.
And Danahy, as we've mentioned a bunch of times, she's done a great job inside of controlling the basketball,
Santos a little hard off the rim. It's going to go out of bounds off Mansfield. 3:26 left. Mansfield up 49-35 in the fourth quarter here. Winner plays Feehan on Wednesday night. It's good to see the two local schools playing, if that's the case. I am always happy to see, especially since teams don't play Bishop Feehan a lot for whatever reasons. I'm glad to see that they'll be involved in the title game of this tournament, if that's the case. And it probably will be. That was Meehan on the miss, and now Mansfield will bring the ball back up again. 3:03 left. Maddie Bendanillo looks like she's taking a little bit of the air out of the ball right now. Why not use up the clock? Santos at the foul line, gets it to go. Ashley Santos with her first 2 points of the night. 2:45 left. Hornets up 51-35. Oh, they've gone better than their average, Alex.
And the girls coming off the bench have done a nice job of maintaining the same kind of pressure on Lowell.
And that foul will be on Santos. That's her first. Hardly any fouls in the second half, only 3 per team. Mike Redding getting some other kids in there. Abby Sullivan, you can see this big knee brace on her left leg. And she's worked really hard to get back into action, and she's played a nice little role, especially in the second half of the season. She's seen a lot more action lately. And you know what? You need those kids when you get to the tournament.
One thing that's happened here, Mark, the last, I'd say 3 times down, is that Lowell has got stuck in the right corner. Mansfield forcing them to the right corner, and the ball just gets stuck there. And there's not much they can do once they're stuck at that location.
Well, that's why they are one of the best defensive teams in the Hockomock League. And like you said, we're seeing different kids do it, too. Like there was Alicia Hottleman with the steal. Here comes Daniel on the drive, and she will be fouled. And if that's on Martinez, I think that might be her 5th.
And that's indicative, Mark, of a team that's well drilled.
That is on Meehan, and that's her first. So only 4 fouls per team, and Erin Daniel goes to the line for 2. This is the first. Meg McVicker comes back in. She's had a nice little game tonight. Done some nice active things underneath, and that's good.
You probably can't total up the free throws too quickly.
And that goes off, so Irizarry comes away with the rebound. And she'll bring the ball up. Not much time left here, and then obviously time is the enemy of the Red Raiders in this contest, as well as Mansfield's defense. Martinez drives strong and gets it, and she gets it to fall. McVicker will be called for that foul. She kind of felt like she was run over on it. So Martinez will have 6 points with a chance to make it 7. 2:01 left. Mansfield leads Lowell 51-37 here in the fourth quarter. And it's looking like Mansfield versus Feehan in the championship game. Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. here at the Albertini. Rebound by McVicker. And that is Kelly Doherty bringing the ball up for Mansfield. So Mike really is getting a lot of people in tonight, and that's good. Calls a timeout here, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, Mike has recognized that the team on the court right now was not running exactly what he wanted them to run.
And that's one thing. He's always coaching.
Yep.
It doesn't matter who he's got in the contest. He is still coaching these kids. And like I said it a few seconds ago, and we didn't have a chance to expound upon it, but you get into the tournament, all sorts of things can happen. You can get a kid that is he's like your workhorse, and he or she will suddenly come up with 3 fouls in the first quarter, and then you got to find somebody who's got to play. And somebody else has got to play to spell that other kid. So this is where you find out what these kids can do.
And that's why you coach every player, because you never know when they're going to need. The kid might be sitting way down the bench, and you think, well, maybe that player isn't going to play that much. But like you say, anything can happen. You may have to call on them.
Well, I can think of a time when that wasn't necessarily true. I mean, you could have coached me as much as possible, and it wouldn't have helped any. Like you might remember when our former baseball coach John Dunn tried to chase after me on a riding lawnmower years ago, but we'll get into that some other time. So the last 147 here of this contest, the Hornets in a nice, comfortable lead. And they have the ball coming out. And here is Doherty.
15 seconds on the shot clock.
Hodelman trying to set a pick for her. She gets the ball. McVicker underneath, back out to Doherty for her first shot of the game. A little strong. Rebound by Haley. And here comes Prawn up to Irizarry. Irizarry looked like it was to travel. Yes, it was.
Now, last time down, Mansfield ran the play that Mike Redding wanted them to run. They got a decent shot.
1:22 left, and the Hornets are putting the finishing touches on this one. And a little kind of iffy contact foul there on Irizarry. That would be her fourth. You know, I she's got to be frustrated. I mean, obviously she's played a lot for this Red Raider team, and early foul trouble really put her on the bench and put her off her stride for most of this game. Sullivan out top to McVicker. Over to, and that's Elisa Hodelman who had the ball there. I'm just got to make sure I catch up with some of these. They're mostly people I've seen before. That's good.
Mike Redding's got them running an offense with a lot of screens in it now, and they seem to be setting them fairly well.
Inbounds
and they got the
play.
open shot on that.
Yep. Fouls on Haley, and that will send Daniel to the line. That's Haley's second, and I believe that's the sixth on the team. It was nice to see that we didn't get into a foul shooting contest, which unfortunately in the first girls game I saw today, we ended up seeing one of those. Daniel, unfortunately, she has not hit a foul shot yet, and I know she's got to be frustrated. She'll be taking a few extra ones in the gym, I'm sure, before the next game. These kids do work hard at their craft, I will say that. Haley comes away with the rebound. Here's Irizarry. He's going to push the ball up. A little behind the back dribble, drives in and scores. Yep, she's got some skills. There's no question about it. Inside the last minute of play, 51-39, and timeout to do some substitutions here.
I'm going to guess, Mark, that Irizarry has been successful with moves like that against a lot of teams, but Mansfield reacts defensively to just about everything that happens on the court. And so she's found defenders where she maybe in the past against other teams she doesn't find defenders when she gets into the paint.
So 42 seconds left. Hornets will work the ball around. Hodelman gets her shot blocked by Moat. Here comes Irizarry again. She's going to try to drive and does. It rolls off. Here comes Doherty again. Brooke Berube on that rebound down there. Ball slips away from Michaela Vine. All right, a little bit of an inbounds hiccup there because Mansfield still was trying to substitute Santos back into the ball game. And here's Irizarry. 15 seconds left to go in this contest. Out to Prawn. She's going to fire up a three and gets it. Boy, she should have done more of that in this game.
Was that her third three?
3 threes on all of them in this quarter. 5 seconds left. We're about to put this one in the books. Santos holds it out top, and that's it. The final score in this one, Mansfield 51, Lowell 42. Mansfield will go to the championship game of the Round Ball Classic on Wednesday night, 5:30 p.m. against Bishop Fia. And Alex, what did you see in this ball game that left an impression?
Well, at both ends of the court, I was impressed with Mansfield's execution. Defensively, they took the other team's best player out of the game for most of the game. I mean, foul trouble took her out in the first half, but she couldn't get the kind of looks that I think she normally gets. I'm talking about Irizarry. At the offensive end, Mansfield really executed ball movement, skip passes, penetration, dribble handoffs, fake dribble handoffs. They used a whole arsenal of offensive moves to create easy baskets. Ball fakes, shot fakes. Really, really impressive.
The final scoring totals, Sydney Mulcairn tops with a career-high 22 points tonight. Maggie Danahy, 13 points and 7 rebounds. This is Mark Farinella with Alex Salaki. We will see you soon.